Hello, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to your day. Well, there's a key thing that I want to talk about here, as you can see by my title, is that I'm talking about increasing your leadership soft skills, not just skills in general. Those are important, but I'm getting into a different kind of direction and nitty gritty. So I'll just be with you for a few minutes just to share something I'm noticing and kind of a call to action for you at the same time. So, how can leaders grow and increase their skills, especially soft skills, right? So it doesn't take a lot, but I'm trying to bring you down into just the granular part of growth. Sometimes we're like way up here and we don't really think about where we're at and where we need to be. We're just running on autopilot. So if you could just hang with me for about 5 minutes, let me take you off of autopilot and give you something to really think about and to apply. Because leaders, we need you. We need you in place. For those of us who are coming into the workforce, the younger generations, we need you the most. And for the younger generations that are stepping into leadership, we got to get it right. So I'll keep it right, keep it tight about growing and increasing your leadership soft skills to be specific. So, what's the first thing that you should do? You need to assess yourself. Where are you exactly? It's really easy to be like, oh, yeah, kind of, I'm good at this, right? To just have it in your head of, yeah, I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at this and that. Lovely, great. Keep all of that in your front pocket. However, if it's not in black and white where you can see somewhere, hey, I'm good at this, I need help at that, that means you need an assessment. You need something in black and white that is giving you a true measurement, a true snapshot of where you are with your skills and your competencies and your capabilities. So, whatever route you choose, there's lots of different routes. Get something that's a trusted tool, a trusted element that you can take a look at and say, okay, here is where I am, the good, bad, the ugly, the foreshadowing. But it's something that you can trust. It's something that you could also share with other people, your managers, that has its own sense of truth and credibility to it. So there's a couple that I work with, of course. There's the complete leader assessment that specifically talks about you as a leader, you're an influential leader. Where are you on the leadership scale? But then in general, DISC is a good one. I talk about that a lot because it's the language of behavior, and you need to know how you operate as a manager, right? So you need to understand how you operate and how that affects your leadership skills, integrity, quality, how you move about the world. So the very first thing, get an assessment, a real assessment where you can print out a report, review it, share it, etc. The second thing that it needs you to do is identify what are you doing well? What competencies, what things are you just being really excellent at that you can not just pat yourself on the back. There's time for that, but I'm not talking about that right now. But that you can continue to grow and expand, but also where you can see how it's affecting your people. What are you good at that your people are gleaning from, that they're learning from, that is helping them to shape into better professionals, that is helping them on their career path? You need to know what you do well so you can keep doing it, right? And so also, you know, the kind of influence that you have already on the people that you manage. Now, the flip side of that is the next thing is that, yeah, you got to be clear on where your gaps are, where you're not quite getting it right at. I see a lot of people who can be uncomfortable, right? Seeing in black and white, maybe I'm not good at teamwork. It's not a place to be beat up on, but it's for you to say, okay, this is where I'm missing it. This is where I need some help, support, and this is where I am doing my team a disservice. There, if you have the right assessment that's going to be honest with you, there's going to be more than one thing. That's not shocking, it's not new, but you got to figure out what that thing is and then pick that one thing that is going to be the most impactful and influential for yourself in your personal life, professional life, everybody around you. But pick one. Don't pick all 80 things that the assessment says that you need to fix and then go and feel sorry for yourself and be like, man, I'm really not good at this. It's not even about that. Cut that little voice off. But if I'm just using teamwork as an example. You're not really good at teamwork and you are trying to be an influential manager. And then you look and you see that all of your team is working in silos. Okay, that's the thing that we need to address. So make sure you're clear on the one that you're going to work on for at least 6 months. I recommend 6 months to a year, depending on how much time you have to work on this thing. But the goal is to turn that gap into a strength ultimately. So once you have figured out what that is, now you got to figure out, how do I grow this thing? You have a particular learning style. Some people are auditory, right? If that's the case, if it's teamwork, I need to be absorbing information that I'm listening to in my car and having conversation about that. Whether it's reading, if it's online courses, I'm a lifelong learner. So I'm always in somebody's course somewhere. Maybe you're a person that does better in a self guided course. Make that distinction as well. Or do you need someone teaching and talking at you where there's interaction? Make that distinction. So many times people sign up for a white paper or course and they never touch it. And it's just a waste. And if you know me by now, you know I hate waste. I hate wasting things, especially my time, energy, and efforts. But make that distinction and then indulge yourself for at least the next 6 months in that particular learning style. Then hire a coach. So if you're not good at something, then you can't necessarily rely on yourself to get better at it. You kind of can, but it's what I call the tofu effect. No offense to my vegan folks, but you gotta, to make tofu good, you've got to add all this stuff to it. Otherwise, it's bland. You're eating it, it's keeping you alive. Great. But if you want something sustainable that is also something that you want to do, you're excited to do, then you've got to get some help and support. There's no shame in that. I know a lot of organizations that partner with coaches. Not only that, but you're busy. You have other things to do. So instead of now you have to start from the ground up to get better at your gap or figure out how to put forth more of what you're strong in, partner with somebody that's already done it. Plain and simple. And then peer accountability. What other leaders can you partner with to keep you accountable, where you can be open, where you can share and be honest and say, hey, I'm really not good at leading my team and teamwork. Can you help me with that? Find a trusted leader. It doesn't have to be at your organization. Maybe it's someone in your networking group or your networking community who you can meet with, I'd say at least on a weekly basis, and say, hey, help me with this, where you can be your raw, naked professional self in this sense, but you're also helping them with something. So a peer accountability piece is really key. So really quick, how can leaders quickly and most directly increase their leadership soft skills? Take an assessment that's clear. You can see it in black and white. Identify what you're good at and how that is positively affecting your team. Identify where your gaps are and how it's negatively affecting your team. Figure out what resources are going to help you in your gap or in your growth, the thing that you do very well, and figure out how you like to learn and realistically something that you would be doing for the next 6 months. Get a coach, hire a coach, somebody like me that's going to come up beside you and help you fly like the eagle that you are, but also do it quickly, the most quickly and most efficiently that you can do it. And then get a peer accountability partner. All right, that's all I got. If you haven't seen it already, I am super excited about the Aspire Leadership Coaching Group that I am launching in January for this very reason, where we can do some upskilling on our own, understanding what our behavioral styles are and how it's affecting our team, how it's affecting our people, and then learning some key leadership skills right now that are super important for what we're stepping into in 2024. Remember that by 2025, which is essentially just a year from now, 75% of the global workforce will be millennial. Do you know, either as a millennial, how to lead, or do you know how to lead millennials? If not, then I definitely encourage you to sign up for this leadership group. It's going to be small, it's going to be tight, but it's going to be right. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. If you have any questions or for more information about the Aspire Leadership Coaching Group, you can find that link in the description. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you.